What's up, everybody? I am Luna from PresStartCulture, and I'm here to talk to you about BioShock. Is it a good game? Is it a bad game? My thoughts on BioShock The Collection as a whole. I'm going to tell you a little bit of my likes and dislikes on it and just a little bit of background, but no spoilers, so I definitely want to give you guys a chance to try it out yourself. I did stream it. You can find it on my stream. But anyway, so here we go. Let's dive right into BioShock. My likes for this game. First and foremost, the story.
They told me, son, you're special. You were born to do great things.
I loved how the beginning started. I loved how they give you details throughout the whole game. Little by little, it doesn't leave you like questioning and getting kind of frustrated with the story. It just, the setup was perfect.
No, says the man in the Vatican, it belongs to God. I rejected those answers. Instead, I chose something different. Rapture.
Visuals. The visuals in this game were amazing. For it to be an old title, I really thought that they did really well with the steampunk theme. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. RPG customization. I loved how you got to choose different ways and come up with your own type of strategy. So there wasn't an exact correct way or only one way to build your character. Of course, there were different ways that you could approach an enemy or a situation, but I did like how if I wanted to replay this again, I could build a whole different way and still be able to finish the game. Loved how the combos worked. If I wanted to freeze a person and then shoot him with a rocket launcher, I loved how I could mix and match the different ways on how to kill an enemy.
Steady now. Your genetic code is being rewritten.
My dislikes. I did not like hacking. Absolutely hated the hacking. I felt like it could have been better. Now I know that it's a challenge when you do something in a game that they always want to make even like the little things challenging. But this hacking felt so jumbled and it was too much. It felt like it could have been smoother. I know that the little tiles, everything had a meaning, but it felt so chaotic and it just didn't feel smooth. And once I got through a hacking, it was like, oh, finally it's done. Or I'd get super frustrated and just ignore hacking altogether.
Dang it, that is really hard.
The quick menu was just too much. The quick menu had way too many moving parts in it. It felt like they were throwing all these weapons and all of these active plastids, but they didn't think how to make it easy and to get to and accessible. You had several guns to choose from, and then each gun had 3 different ammos. Different kinds of ammo to go with those guns, and it was too much. Sometimes I would switch to a certain gun, and then I'd have to check to see which ammo I had, and that became way too much. I did not like the directional map. That arrow above my head, oh, it was too much. There were times where I was thoroughly confused on where to go. I was constantly running around, figuring out which way I needed to go. There were times that it was pointing me in one direction, I'd go in that direction, and then it would just whip around like I had gotten to that point, the point that it was pointing me to. And actually, what was really happening, and it was on the wrong floor or wrong level. When you have different levels, it's like they didn't think that one thoroughly through. So I guess it's hard to make it go, you know, it's hard to point in a direction when it's just above your head like that. You can't actually point that you need to go up or point that you need to go down. It's just, it moves left or right. That's the only thing, the only direction that it would go in. Limited ammo. I was always running out of ammo. I felt like I had a billion weapons and no ammo for any of those weapons. I don't know if that was because I was playing on a harder mode, but that got very frustrated very, very quickly. And there were times where I would die and I'd run out of ammo and there was nothing I could do. Even if I had an active power, I would still run out of Evo, and it just, sometimes granted you have the melee weapon, but it just got frustrating and it got super repetitive. And I feel like that could have easily been changed if it was just a little bit more ammo that I could have found. Limited active placids. I felt like they were giving you all of these different options that you could buy powers with, but you can only equip a certain amount that were active, and then you had to find the machine to change them. You couldn't change them out yourself, like in a quick menu. So I didn't like how you had, it felt like 20, 30 different options on active powers, but yet in your quick menu you only had a certain amount. And it just felt like they kind of forced that. It was just too many powers and not enough to equip in the, it's like you could collect all these powers, but yet you could only use a certain amount. You can only use 5. So I didn't like that. Didn't like that at all.
Careful now. Would you kindly lower